everyone to our episode 38 of our podcast, Cultivating a New Generation. In today's episode, we are going to discuss the book of Jocko Willink of Leadership Strategy and Tactics. That's the title of the book, and the reflection that we are going to do is about being a leader or being a victim. That is always your choice in everything that you do in your life. Learning how to be or how to lead your life, a team, or even your family starts with the mindset of you being able to regulate your emotions, have clarity in your expectations, goals, and direction you want to take, achieving a balance between stepping in to show the direction or being a good listener and creating relationships based on trust and mutual respect. That's what it is being and learning how to lead your life. Sometimes you need to step back from the situation to see things clearly. Whenever we step back from where we are, even for example, right now, if I am in my desk and I step out, I can see everything that I have to do. I can watch my calendar in the screen and I can start seeing what are the priorities. So, stepping out from the stressful situation can give you a different perspective. Outside of his life as a Navy SEAL, Joko, the author, has found that detaching from the situation is one of the leader's best tools because you also leave the space of the emotion. Whenever you feel like you are becoming overwhelmed by all there is to do, take a step back. You can even do this literally, as I did it just right now, and take a step back from the desk, from the conversation, and take a deep breath and start oxygenating your brain as we discuss in our next chapter that is going to be on Friday. So um, don't miss that episode. Lift your head up, look in both directions, and allow yourself to let go of whatever the emotions are going to be felt. Try to see and hear what is really going on around you in that specific moment. This will help you to become grounded, to relax your system, to start lowering the sympathetic nervous system, and also this will allow you to be in a much better place to make a more rational decision, one that is less influenced by highly charged emotions. When it comes to leadership, the best policy isn't one of aggression or that people fear you. It's one of balance. In his career as a Navy SEAL, the author had first hand experience with bad leadership. In his second platoon, one team commander refused to consider any ideas that weren't his own. This kind of arrogance severely damaged the team morale. So it was only a matter of time before a new commander had to be brought in. The key message here in this short story is that good leadership stems from two fundamental components: the dichotomy of leadership and extreme ownership. That's what is going to give us an advantage. When the author talks about leadership to people, they are often expecting him to share a very straightforward approach to leadership. They expect an approach based on a strict hierarchy, where people simply do what the boss says, no questions asked. But the reality of what makes a good boss in the military or in the business world isn't as simple as that. There needs to be a dichotomy, a balance to achieve that good leadership. You can't be too aggressive or too hands off, too talkative or too quiet. too much of a disciplinarian, or too much of a pushover. The list goes on, and at its core, successful leadership is about motivated and dedicated team to victory. It won't happen if you are inflexible and you won't listen to your team's ideas. A successful leader is a respected leader. And for that to happen, the people in team need to feel respected and protected as well. So much better is to have a person that listens to you, listens to the opinions and takes into account the advice, than being a pseudo leader that is just giving orders and trying to impose their will. That's not leadership, that's just hierarchy. Extreme ownership means owing up to all problems, mistakes, and failed plans. Put very simply, this means taking responsibility for the bad things without exception. That's why it is called extreme. If a team member makes a mistake, shows up late, or doesn't do their job, you own it because it's your team, because it is reflecting some attitude that probably you didn't pick it up. After all, the failing reflects of that employee the fact that you haven't trained that employee properly. Or perhaps it means you haven't effectively communicated the importance of the role of that person and how essential he or she is to the overall team success. Ultimately, the failure of a team project rests on the leader's shoulders alone. Plus, playing the blame game is never ever a good look for anyone. So, starting to make people responsible for their own mistakes, training them well, and making them feel that their role and their participation is very important in the overall effect of whatever the project is going to help you to be a much better leader. There is a popular concept that suggests that people are either born with certain skills and talents or they are not. This belief is far from accurate. The truth is, anyone can get better at whatever job they find themselves in. This is an important thing to keep in mind, especially if you suddenly find yourself leading a team and feel overwhelmed with their responsibility. Or worse, you suffer from imposter syndrome that many people can have when they shift jobs or they shift career and they start doing things that they were not used to do. It was not mechanical, they didn't have the habit yet. So you are still in the learning curve. So the feeling that you don't deserve to be in such a position is what leads you to this imposter syndrome. If this sounds all too familiar, don't worry, it's far better to feel like you need to improve than to feel arrogant, like everything you do and say is untouchably perfect. The key message in this reflection is the core tenets to leadership include humility and a willingness to pick up brass. First of all, what does it mean to pick up brass? Often leaders may feel like they are too good to take a part in such a menial task. But few things are as effective in building respect as a leader who is willing to chip in on a mindless job that nevertheless needs to be done. And this is very common. Many leaders don't do the dirty work or the insignificant work because they are too important, because they are already in a hierarchy. But if you see those examples of the leader not getting involved, then in those cases when everyone's help is needed, you suddenly, as an employee, lose respect for that kind of leadership because there is no showing of the congruency of leadership. And that's extremely important to the reflection to your employees. What is the main phrase, the main quote that can summarize many of the things that we have spoken. It's the leader's job to clearly explain the objectives of the current mission, but the team should be allowed to come up with a plan themselves so that they develop commitment. In this way, the team has ownership of the plan, which is a powerful motivator of getting the job done. So that's what we want whenever we want a team that really complies, explaining the mission and letting the team also participate in the development of a plan. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that this reflection has helped you to have another perspective on leadership. And please, if you like this video, if you like this reflection, help me to give a reaction, a comment, or even better, share the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to receive notifications about any other videos. Remember that Fridays are the long videos, and we are going to change this next week, starting almost a new month. So we are going to start making some changes to see what works better for people. So pay attention, stay tuned, and meanwhile connect this Friday because it is extremely important, the video that is going to be released. Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon. We will listen to each other next Wednesday. Bye.